All right, so check this out. First, let me make sure the mics are all working. Look like we're good to go. Mic check, mic check. Okay, it looks like we're good to go. So, with the recent release of George, wow, George Ferguson's killer, uh, he was actually released on $1 million bond and allowed to move over to another state for his safety. So today, what we wanted to talk about was social injustice. Why is it still existing in 2020? And the things that we've experienced as black men, melanated people, as far as being profiled by the police or any other injustices that we might come across. Does anybody want to speak on this first? Who does that put up?
Have you ever experienced any kind of discrimination?
Any kind of discrimination, social injustice.
Being profiled by the police?
How do you feel about the officer being let out on bond and being able to move to a neighboring state for his safety? You want to start with Holyfield? We're gonna start with my man right here. Oh, you gonna start at the back? Oh, he on the phone though. You want to, bro? You want to start him off, man? No. What was the question? How do you feel about uh, the officer being let out on $1 million bond after being sent, George Floyd? That officer that murdered. How do you feel about him being let out? And have you come across any type of social injustice or police discrimination or profiling?
As far as him being let out, I mean, that's expected to happen because of the side of the law you're on. They got a code that they go by or whatever. That's all I can really say on that. But yeah, I've been discriminated against as far as riding down the street. Like when I was in high school, the police had pulled us over and got everybody out the car and asked us where we was going, and we were like football practice because we had our tugs on and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And he kept us out there for like an hour or so just messing with us. But other than that, it wasn't nothing too extreme. You know what I'm saying? Just a little harassment.
Okay. How about you, my man? Have you been in a situation where you felt like what the police were doing, they were overdoing it, or it was just like it didn't have to go as far as it did, or you felt discriminated against or profiled?
No, I ain't never been in no trouble, but the stuff that the police do these days, I feel like they shouldn't do it, you know what I'm saying? According to us black people, the way I feel about it, I still think racialism still go on in the police decision, you know? But I never been in a situation like that. I don't know.
It seems like a lot of people, like most of my circles, don't really get in trouble. You know what I mean? So a lot of times we can't really relate. You know what I mean? But in other circles, I mean, people are like, man, the police are, you know what I'm saying, this and that, this and that. So I mean, is it on us, or are they tripping, or is it both?
It's on society as a whole. It's on society as a whole, especially the people that come before us. Like if you're gonna keep on keeping on the same indoctrinated, immoral values and illegitimate practices of policing or law enforcement, how else can you expect for a mass group of people to act when all they see is the people that are like them or similar to them that are being done this way? Like how can you refute what facts are facts? The facts are facts. True enough, there is a issue with black on black crime, but you have more Caucasian people that kill Caucasian people across the board for whatever reason, whether it's domestic violence, a random act of violence, drug deal gone bad, or someone took someone to do something and someone ended up getting, murdered or homicide was committed. I mean, the spectrum is wide, but the laws and the time that is given out for the illegal infraction, even the decree that's put down. A Caucasian person may get a aggravated assault charge for the same thing that a black person got a homicide charge for. So how do you break that? Or are there certain loopholes that have to be met for a particular person from a particular demographic? Or is there certain loopholes? Is there certain legal language that has to get the same decree or the same legal punishment?
It's like we get everything. We get the gas mask to the floor while it look like they pumping the brakes on them. So yeah, no, I fully get that. No, I mean for real. So I mean when
And the first real cowboy was a black man.
so when we really get down to it, we look at it and we go, oh, us melanated people as a whole. So across the board, where we know crime happens within all parts of our society, and people mostly commit crimes on the people they live closest to. You know what I'm saying? Anybody from down,
They feel like they can get away with it.
really anybody coming from downtown going uptown to rob somebody, and vice versa. You know what I'm saying?
Unless they feel like they can get away with it.
Unless they feel like they can get away with it.
I.e. the trademark. I.e. the copyright. So you create laws and mandates to come up with a way to steal someone else's idea. So if you want to say, let's make it right, let's start with everything. Let's start with the byproduct of making it right, which is history. You're not going to tell the world that the notebook paper was invented by a black person, the ink pen was invented by a black person, the pencil was invented by a black person, the broom, the dustpan, the stoplight, the switch light. Shall I keep going? The commode, the flusher on the commode. Shall I keep going? The cotton gin. Shall I keep going?
The super soaker.
Everything. The internet itself. The internet itself. GPS. Shall I keep going?
I mean, we suffer.
We don't care.
Yeah, we don't care. We live right now. We live right now.
He was.
He was melanated.
Jesus was an unarmed black man.
Yeah.
And we still going through the same thing.
He paid the price.
We get crucified in front of the whole world. It's not, you mean to tell me it's okay to crucify somebody in front of the whole world, regardless of what they did. Did they kill someone? Even if they did kill someone, as the police, you're supposed to bring them to what? Justice, which is done in a court of law, not in the streets.
You're not supposed to die.
Jeffrey Dahmer didn't die.
So I mean, that's the whole thing.
This is one.
Since we've been able to technologically like document things, right? You go back to Emmett Till. You go back. What's going on, man? We got my boy Nino in the house. Hey, you know what? You could grab another mic too, bro. Going back to, you know what I'm saying, the documentation of all the stuff that we've been going through from Emmett Till to the was it the Detroit bombings? Wasn't it Detroit where they bombed? To Alabama, to all the stuff that's done happened. Why are we still going through some of the same stuff in 2020 that we were going through in the 40s, 50s, and 60s?
And you gotta think though, if marching didn't work back then, what makes you think it's gonna work today? You gotta come up with a new plan, man. Gotta come up with a new plan, bro.
Because it's beyond systematic racism. It's called a learned behavior. It's called a learned behavior. If a learned behavior is passed down from generation to generation, from child to child, from family to family, that's what they know as being right.
I feel like we're still under the influence of Black Crow.
We are. We are. We are.
I feel like the nigga mentality that was taught, I feel like it's still going on today.
I agree with that.
all the crowd mentality and the jealousy between each other and ourselves. Our different complexions going from brighter to darker. Everything from how the house slave was treated differently from the field slave. I still think that goes on today.
I ain't even.
Oh, my bad.
I just want to know what it would be like if the reverse had been what it was. Like, if people like, well, there were a few, like Hannibal the Conqueror. Like, say for instance, if Hannibal the Conqueror and some other before Christ warriors that were known for taking on different lands and people, some of them became slaves, but they were different kind of slaves. So in the instance of, yeah, we're gonna come and take over your land, but we're gonna make you better people. That happens sometime. Sometime it was total decimation. So one may say that one way is the way of evolution. And another may say that that's a very brutal way to get a group of people to conform. So if that's being said, then how can you say to a mass group of people that you've disconnected every cord of every lineage that they have, and then you say, well, just go on Ancestry.com and research it. That's not gonna help. That's not gonna help. But you have families of people from Italy, Romania, Bulgaria, Russia, Saudi Arabia, Iran, Afghanistan, Mexico, Argentina, Peru, Bolivia, Brazil. When they come to the United States, they are taken care of in a certain precision of a manner. Like, we're going to keep you connected to your people. We're going to allow you to send money back home to your people. We're going to give you a tax credit to come and live in the United States. So where's the fairness line? Where does the fairness line start? I mean, we're talking about history and the truth. It is what it is. As the president said, it is what it is. Slavery did happen. Yes, you did rip babies out of the wombs of their mother. They did that. And you killed a baby. Sometimes you took the father out and made him less of a man. You broke him down, you raped him, molested him in front of his wife, his kids, made him sag his pants around the plantation so that he would be demoralized, demasculated as a man. And then you sell him off to somewhere else where he knows nobody. And that cycle continued to go on and on and on. No different than today's matter. Instead of helping the family, say, you know what, let's help you guys get some help and be a better family. Let's send you out to counseling. No, defense comes in and say, you're unfit to be a parent. Just because you made a bad decision, just because the kid had an accident, you guys are unfit to be parents. We're going to take the kid out the household and we're going to put him somewhere else that they know nothing about. Where's the fairness line? But when little Mikey or little Jimmy have a situation, they get them counseling, they get them help. They get them mental evaluations. Whole nother situation, the mental thing in the black community. But where's the fairness line?
So Nino just walked in, man. He's gonna help us out with the mics. Am I gonna scare anybody if I come out of this mask? They gotta be able to hear me. We do temperatures here, so we made sure everybody was straight. So just understand we are in a safe environment. So, so as far as today, what can we do? Because like you said, we've been marching for a long time. We've been riding, we ride it wrong, and we don't ride it right. That's not working. What can we do to help with this whole social injustice thing, with police brutality, with all kind of stuff like that? What can we do right now that's gonna make some immediate and long-term changes? Immediate and long-term changes.
I mean, the only thing we can do is work together, but
do for real.
it
Why you
ain't
say there ain't
much
nothing we
that
can do?
about that.
Hold on.
Take it over.
Hold on. We can only have one conversation at a time.
My bad.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I mean, my thing is, all we can do is pull together, but they got society so messed up that we're not pulling together as blacks or Hispanics or whoever. We fall apart and too busy looking at the next man or whatever. They just got the whole society messed up. So it's kind of hard to say, what can we do? We voting, and it still ain't doing what we want it to do. Because the one that got in the office just being real on some bullshit. I know you can't, we can say that, but it is true. So ain't much we can do besides just pull together and try to help one another and quit just looking at the defaults of another person.
What to do about it? Well, stop spending that money. That's it.
Well, I think
your own political party, you know, because you're talking about politics, but you don't have any agenda or anything.
because I'm finna get you on this one.
The thing is, it's like with Tupac. Before he died, he was trying to start his own political party, and he got an agenda. And if you don't have a plan in place, then no, you're not gonna correct it. You feel me? So the first question is, what's the plan? Number one, stop calling yourself black. That's their term. I said that last week. Whenever you wonder why white people get less time than black people, it's because of the titles that they carry. These titles come from back when slaves were when slavery was prominent, and they called you, nigger or negro or whatever it was. That same title is transferred over to African American, black, and all that. So when you go into that court system, the reason you get more time is because they still basing you off of when you was considered half of a human. You feel me? Or whatever it was, 1/3 human, whatever. You feel me? So, but they struck a deal with the same white people that was considered slaves that they brought over from like Ireland and all that stuff like that. These same people came over and they was revolting at one time. One time it was black and white revolting against the slave masters. And they came in and they was like, look, since y'all look more like us, the white people, we're gonna call y'all Caucasians, and here's the deal that y'all get. The same thing, the same type of thing with the Native Americans. Because of your title, you get certain deals. We got a title of being black, and we keep that title and we hold it with pride, but that's still enslaving you as a slave. So that's why you get treated the way you get treated.
I can't walk in the court and all of a sudden have a lighter complexion. So I can stop calling myself black, but at the same time I can't change how I look.
Here's the thing though. Because you're looking at it as a black and white thing, you don't see the people that come over from Africa that know the laws, that live up in the 5-bedroom mansion right down the street on Chapel Hill. You know what I'm saying? They blacker than you, some of them. But you got the benefits of coming over here as an immigrant because you don't have the jurisdiction placed on you as the black American. The people that consider themselves black American or African American and stuff like that, you're gonna always be at the bottom because that's their title for you. And if you fill out that paper, you're giving them jurisdiction to rule on you how they want to rule on you, to take the monies out of your neighborhoods. Because you got public schools, even in the suburbs, that's doing well because the people in the area support that school. But when you go in the urban areas and stuff like that, like Douglas County, the county we in right now, at one time before we started migrating out here from wherever we was migrating from, that was a nice school. Once we started coming out here, you started pulling a little more of the trades out and stuff like that. You feel me? Because the majority of people that's going to that school, the parents are labeling them as black. Okay, well, we could take money from them. You feel me? Because you still go up underneath that jurisdiction as a slave. And we don't care. You know what I'm saying? Because we still looking at the problem as being a black thing and a white thing, when really it's about an education thing. Educate yourself, educate your community, and start your own, political party and all that. And you'll start seeing the changes happen. But we can't have that. Like I say, we march and we fight for, we march for political gain and stuff like that, and we don't get it. But then you see people like the Asians that come over here. They got their benefits. How did they get them? Not all of them educated, but the titles that they, like if I have somebody come over from another country and I know the Lord, I'm going to tell them, look, just put Asian on here and it's the benefits you get. And you see that. You don't see them marching. You feel me? And the only other people that was at the bottom levels with us, that like the brown people, that's like they like to say. The brown people, they walked off the jobs when they wasn't getting what they wanted. You feel me? That's a major move, because you can't have the top 1% of capitalism at the top without a base. And if the base educate itself, you might not get what the 1% get, but the life will be better as the base. You feel me? Don't come up into my house on just the base, just the flow. That's us. And you just come up in here with cleats just scuffing up the flow. But if the flow never sit back and say, hey man, y'all got to take y'all shoes off, we'll be the flow. We'll hold this whole building up because everybody thrives off of that. The rain don't come down because of the roof and whop the flow. You feel me? But the flow got to sit back and say, look, take your shoes off.
The way you put it seems like we have to make a choice, because like you said, when Asians come over, when these other cultures come over, they know the laws and they know the rules and they know the benefits of moving to the United States, right? So do we can't, hold on, let me say it right. Do we demand that we get benefits as black people? Because on one hand, you're saying we need to stop calling ourselves black, but then we look at the yellow and you know what I'm saying, everybody else who's coming over and actually getting benefits. Which part do we change? Because do we say, look, we need benefits too because we went through this, why aren't some of these laws applying to us? Or do we just go, you know what, everybody's American and you get it how you live?
We don't, like I said, we're number one, we're not educated in politics. You spend your tax dollars. At one time, we were a little bit back, like in the 60s and stuff like that. That's how I could sit back and say, if I pay my tax dollars and it brings about this water fountain, but you telling me I can't drink from this water fountain because I'm black, I paid for that. All right, so when you coming up into fast forward today, where was the change? The change was we weren't as educated to sit back and say, look, I pay tax dollars for schooling. Why is it that there's no, like I say, just trades, man. I keep saying that, but why aren't you educating my child like for when he get his diploma, he could come out and be dealing with auto body, wood shop, whatever it is. We go to the schools and we don't even pay attention to that. We don't even care about that.
I feel like the educational system is the biggest con that America came up with, period.
The educational system is broken anyway. They don't teach finance. They don't teach nothing for the they don't teach credit building. They don't teach none of that stuff in school.
If they pull trade from high school and then they say, okay, for you to get a good job, you got to go to college.
Right.
They set you up to be in debt for the rest of your life.
Facts.
What I'm saying is, from that standpoint, if we could see that has to be part of the agenda. Because I'm 45. On average, they say I got like another 20 years. So within that 20-year period, I might not see the change I'm not gonna see the change my children gonna see. So why wouldn't you establish and look at it and say, okay, we need to reevaluate the educational system. We was cool with No Child Left Behind because we wanted our child to have a diploma just like somebody that was doing the work.
That No Child Left Behind sometimes fast track students who didn't need to be fast tracked.
My point is, why would I give you a diploma if you haven't? There ain't nothing wrong with getting kept back, but you play on the strings of the parents that sit back and be like, damn, I don't want my child to get kept back. No Child Left Behind sounds good. But when you sit him out here with that diploma and he's not properly educated, look at how the system is being manipulated. The jailhouses, you got jailhouses popping up left and right, but you're taking the trades out of school, right? So what are you setting the kids up for?
Exactly, and you know how does everybody know how they figure out where they're gonna put a new prison or a new jail? Does everybody know? They watch the They watch the scores of standardized testing. And wherever those scores start to drop, they build a new prison or a new jail. You got a comment, my guy?
I got a question. What I want to know, what did Uncle Sam do? Reason why I got to give him a cut of my check. That's all I want to know. All I've been hearing about, we got to do this, that. What did he do? Anybody answer that? Tell me, what did that man do or whoever it is?
He didn't fix them potholes in Atlanta, I'll tell you that.
He ain't did nothing. So why do he got to tell me what I need to give out my check when you ain't did nothing? Look in your history book. What it say? He ain't did nothing.
Well, see, that goes back, like I say, to education. If we're not properly educated on how our government's supposed to work, they're going to railroad us every time. Like right now, is you got a choice between your two candidates on how you want to get screwed. You want grease or you don't want grease. You feel me? How about I don't want to get screwed? You feel me? And the thing is, if we're not educated, like they quick to say we don't have money for the schools, but yet you go and give trillions of dollars to Syria. You feel me? And ain't nobody over here that consider themselves an American raising no kind of hell about that. That's like me having a house, and my neighbor across the street needs money, but my house needs to get fixed. I look like the fool giving my neighbor the money and not getting my house fixed. Let me take care of my house first. And from a constitutional standpoint, man, you're not supposed to be kicking out no tax dollars to another country. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be within your borders. And if you had it like that, you wouldn't have the problems that you have.
I think a lot of that has to do with our financial system in the United States. I think is crazy because we have no backing on the dollar.
Right, but you don't have that backing is because, like I say, you're not educated. The reason you don't have backing behind the dollar, you had it at one time.
Had plenty of it at one time.
A long time ago in
The
a galaxy
Chinese?
far, far away.
China got all the gold.
How did they get that?
The Republican Party. I'm gonna say that because it's true. I'm gonna say it because it's true. But I mean,
How did they get it? Yeah, something had to transpire for me to go to being the richest nation to having a $1 trillion debt.
yeah, right.
So what happened?
Spend all the money.
No, the money is the issue. See, the thing is, at one time, the dollar was just a receipt.
Receipt
I
for
could go to the bank and cash it in, and they put gold coins in my hand.
absolutely.
That's not happening no more.
Can't
The
happen.
reason it's not happening is because of the Federal Reserve. It's not a bank for the country. It's a private-owned bank,
Yeah.
and they charge an interest rate. So if I print up $1 trillion, you feel me? And on each dollar that I printed, you owe me 10 cents. Eventually, you gonna owe me.
Yeah.
You're going to put up your little collateral and all this other. Like I say, it's deeper than it appears, but the thing is, we still dealing. Race is an issue, don't get me wrong, because of how we operate with each other. But it's not the main issue when we're talking about the country going down.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Right.
We got it. That's why you see them put that on TV all the time. You feel me? Racial issues, and we get caught up in our boxes and everything like that. Like I told you, how you won't get screwed with or without grease. The grease is me telling you, all right, well, we're going to fund this for that and all that other stuff, and it sounds good. And I'll be like, okay. And you bend over, and it's over.
Yeah.
The other one, I just ramsack you from behind. I just, and take it. You feel me? But I'm getting screwed. And the reason I'm getting screwed is because I'm not educated in how my country or how the politics and government of my country operate. You feel me?
So, this is my other question. You know, man, you get me. Wait a minute, come back to it. I get it. My other question is, how can somebody been in the United States their whole life, how come we can't get along like the people that come from another country? They get along, like the Arabs and all them, they get along, they all of a sudden get a business loan real quick. But people that been in the United States their whole life, you go there, we ain't got enough collateral. So how can they have collateral and they just came over here?
We getting screwed because we don't know.
Barely any views. Saturday.
And the thing is, when you're looking at it from the bank standpoint, they want you to print as much money as possible, because the more money you print, the more you owe them. All right? So if somebody coming from another country needs money, I'm about to give it to them real quick. You feel me? Because as the feds, I'm gonna give them the money real quick, because there's more money that I'm printing. That's the higher the debt goes. You feel me? So it ain't so much that you can't get it as an American. You just don't know how to get it. You feel me? It's out there. Like Donald Trump is a perfect example of it. As bad as they talk about him and bankrupt and all that, that man name never fell off the chart. Why is that? They were trying to kick him out of office for tax evasion and all. They couldn't. Why is that? Because he knows the laws. He an American. You just don't know him. You feel me?
I got you.
Like, we don't know it, but somebody coming from overseas, they got people telling them, look, you can get this benefit and stuff like that. You're not having that conversation.
They've been made to not to have to worry about certain stuff that the everyday person has to worry about. That's a legitimate citizen. Once they go through their naturalization, the situation, the government get them certain tax credits, certain stipends, and shut them up good. I think it should be a fair street down the middle, which I don't think it ever will be, but it should be. Because it's more than enough for everybody. It really is more than enough for everybody. Like, why do we have homeless people in the United States, but we still like give money to the other countries and give money to like the animals who getting abused? What about the human beings on the street that have nowhere to go, no food to eat? Like, it's messed up. You go out to feed a homeless person, you can get cited. A citation, you gotta go to court because you want to feed the homeless. Or you want to take the homeless some clothes. Right here in Douglasville, Georgia, they would tell you, can't feed the homeless. Sir, you can't do that, ma'am, sir. You gotta be on the committee. You gotta be part of this, you gotta be part of that. Why? Why do I have to be part of something to do the right things that God has given to everybody, which is take care of your neighbor, take care of your fellow man. You see this person hungry, you got some food. Why throw it in the trash instead of feeding the person? Like, that was one of my pet peeves for like working at restaurants. And I've done it all. I win middle. But like, you mean to tell me just because you're gonna be able to do a tax write-off on your profit loss and you know what I'm saying, your food inventory, you get more money for throwing the food away than saying, okay, I'm giving it to the homeless? What sense does that make? That's capitalism.
I mean, that's exactly what it is.
That's what it is. It's capitalism.
Our whole country is built on capitalism, survival of the fittest. You know what I'm saying? Get it how you live. That's what we're built on. So how do we pass them using division for profit? It's hard. It's hard because division is profitable. And I feel division is profitable. And I feel like that's why they push so much. Think about it. On the news, Holyfield said it earlier today. White folks commit more crime against each other than black folks commit against each other, but on TV, you don't see that. All they push.
It's just what channel you watch. If you watching regular news, you're gonna see us more. But they like with white people, if you turn it on forensic files, they're all over that bad boy. You feel you not. You
gotta watch cops.
Right, cops.
Oh, they got them meth heads out there. They on cops though, and you know they done took cops off the air, so they don't want to expose what they got going on.
Right.
That's what it is. So on cops, do you see more of one than the other?
Yeah. Oh, them meth heads on them. Let me ask you this.
First one, they gonna give you that raw digging.
Okay, let me ask you. It go back to what you said, Holyfield. It's just like me and you do the same crime. You white, which I had done seen this. I had done did time. Me and this dude did the same time, same crime. He went before me, got a lesser charge than what I got. They gave me more years than what they gave that man. How we gonna fix that?
What's on your paperwork? No, what do you, when somebody put a piece of paper in front of you to ask you to describe your race, what do you put? Other? You feel me? Huh?
I put other.
No. I'm saying that's you because you're more enlightened. But the average person walking around gonna put African American or white, Caucasian, even before they get to other. But the ones that they got listed, that's their definition of what you are. So I'm gonna define you with this time too. You feel me?
You walk in front of that judge, they looking at you. I don't care what's on the paperwork. If they
That's
look
fine.
at you.
See, but that's why when you walk up in that courtroom, like I said, if you choose to walk up in that courtroom, you better know the laws. You better know where you stand, because that way you can fight your case. Because you got to realize even the lawyer takes an oath, a Hippocratic oath to the bar, which is associated with the courtroom. So he's on the side of the courtroom. He's not on your favor. That's why he's always trying to get you to take a probation or some form where you pay. Right, to benefit the state. Right, to benefit for the state benefit though. You feel me?
Okay.
So, but when you walking in there, you don't know that. You're not educated. If I say, come on, man, let's play some poker, and you say, all right, I never played poker before, but I'm gonna play. That's on you if you don't know the rules. You feel me? I'm gonna sit back. You got a killer hand, and you be like, nah, man, what the king, the queen, the jack? You didn't want the whole. But you ain't gonna tell me that. Not especially if $500 on the line. You're gonna be like, damn, boy, if you'd have just had the two out of that whole set. You had the whole set except the two. You feel me? If you'd have had the two, boy, you would have won. Well, what you got? Oh, shit, I got a 70. Your hand is just stupid. You feel me?
Right.
And I just take your $500 and I'm gone. But you ain't educate yourself on poker. Now, if you leave the game, educate yourself on poker and be like, damn, he got me out $500, but the next time I sit at this table, that's his day. Excuse my French. You feel me? But that come with education.
You guys have any comments?
Off what you just said, right? It starts, besides the fact of systematic racism, it starts with education, like you said, but at the same time, you need financial background, right? Because you can't even get into the game if you don't have any money, right? So that's why when we go to the courts and people represent us, the first thing they do, if you don't got any money, they're trying to negotiate a deal, right? But if you got money at that point in time, you can actually fight the case.
I'm gonna tell you how important education is. I had a homeboy. He used to cut uphill with me, right? And as far as them legal books go, he whipped your butt with them, right? So what it was, he was on probation. This is one of the cases that I know about him, you know. But he was on probation, and because he knew the laws and all that stuff, and realized how they got him to sign over here. Because when you sign the paper, I'm giving you jurisdiction over me. You feel me? Absolutely. So when he found out whatever code it was or whatever, he took himself off probation without a lawyer. And it was all through like notaries and stuff like that. Right. So what you would have paid for a lawyer would probably been in the stacks for that to happen. He only paid like $100. Right. You feel me? Of going back and forth through but we not at, and I get it. Right. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that you know, it's bad for us not to be educated. It was systematically removed for us to be.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? It's all by design.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So to go back to what you just said, right? Education is priority, but we look at the police officer that just bonded out. What's his name? Think about it. He can't bond out if he doesn't have any money. What he had? He bonded out with $1 million.
Off his bond.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. So his education actually helped when it came to financial stability. People was what they was donating to him. He got the money, he got out. Right. So you don't have any education, you have any money, you can't do crap.
Right. Well,
They just throw this out there. Y'all ever known of any dude, I'm just saying, just randomly, any black guy that's bonded out on murder?
No.
I ain't never knew they had no bond on no murder until I see these white boys bonded out
Absolutely.
on murder.
Right, but that's systematic racism.
I ain't never seen no murder, no bond for murder.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying? Hey,
It's the
going rubber. You bonding out.
right. I agree.
You know what I'm saying? I guess money talk. You know what I'm saying? Hey,
Money always talk.
yeah, when you got the right amount of money, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But that ain't right though. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely not. It's just like Breonna Taylor, right? They know that these police officers is guilty. However, what did they do when they go to the court? They got extremely creative, came up with some bull crap and let the police officers off.
Right. They never charged them with murder or manslaughter.
Right.
It's like I say, if you pay attention, that's why they took court TV off.
It still come on.
I know it came back. Somebody, I met the dude.
It come on a regular channel though.
Yeah, I met
Most
the guy,
people don't have the regular antenna TV.
Yeah, I met
So
the
you got
guy
to be able to get
that
the cable
recorded.
TV and the regular channel.
But my point being, remember the case with the they call it affluenza
Yeah.
with the white boy.
The young white kid that said he was too rich to realize right from wrong.
He didn't know exactly the way he was brought up. He didn't know right from wrong.
But that
Right.
once he got that bail, him and his mama
But
went to Mexico.
Here's the thing though. What we don't realize is now once they ruled in their favor, that's case. That's law. All right, now, why you can't use that coming up as say like somebody that sold a little weed or something like that?
Ain't got
Why-
money like that yet.
Huh?
Ain't got money like that yet.
No. You could bring it up if you educate. You could make your lawyer pull that case for you.
I mean, because the
You feel
same
me?
rules should apply. Like, if all I've seen is trauma, chaos, turmoil, and it's been made to be a way of life as a child growing up, how can I not use the flip side of it and say, well, all I've ever been shown is how to sell weed, how to shoot craps, how to be a functional alcoholic, keep a job, go to school, make good grades, still don't tell nobody what grandma, uncle, godmama them doing in the hood every day, and still have to manifest a same reality as a functional adult once you get grown. So why can't the same thing be used to say, well, I have PTSD since birth?
In theory, you can. It's just that we like okay. Look at the average time, the average experience of us going to court when we need a lawyer. I go down, man. They trying to ham me up. I need a lawyer. You go get the lawyer. You hanging on everything the lawyer say, but you not educated. Remember with the OJ case, they was talking about that, and they were saying how smart OJ was.
Right.
Because OJ was telling the lawyers what to do. Oh man, don't do that. In the background, these are your representatives in the courthouse. But when we go in, we follow their lead. And like I say, if I'm not educated, their lead is to get a deal for the courthouse. You feel me? To benefit the courthouse. Either I'm going to pay in labor or I'm going to pay in cash. But if you know going in, okay, look, damn, yeah, y'all caught me selling drugs, but that's all I knew. Throw that affluenza case, the code or whatever it was, on your paperwork.
So flip it.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm so hood, that's what I know.
It's not necessarily flipping it. This is what you presenting to me.
Okay.
If he could get away with it, I could get away with it. The only reason I can't get away with it is because I'm hung up on me being black and him being white and him getting over on the paper. You know what I'm saying? Oh, they get less time than me. The only reason they getting less time than you is because we not educated. You keep calling yourself slave, and they gonna rule on you like that. You feel me? But when we going off of case law, slave is not involved at all. This is y'all game. This is y'all laws. You feel me? And I'm using them against y'all because y'all using them against me. I just got to be educated, and that's why we fall short of. That's why we fall short as a people. You feel me? And I gotta keep.
They say, do you have anything to say? You say, well, Your Honor, I just didn't know. I didn't know I was breaking the law. Guess what they're gonna tell you? Ignorance of the law is no excuse. Time.
If I come with rulings where you let somebody go off of that, and I'm not, first and foremost, change.
I agree with you. I agree.
Right. First and foremost, change your identity when dealing with them. Your identity is black. Your identity is slave. This is their terminology, bro. This is their legal jargon that you're using for them to rule on you. So when you going in, why wouldn't I sit back and say, man, I'm Aboriginal? You feel me?
Where you from?
You are.
So you from the South? How? Dude, okay, look, I'm from South Georgia. Town is this big. You 45, bro, I'll be 44 in December. I know I don't look like it. Bro, the things that I have seen, the things that I know, the education that I have, there are people, there are black people who know who the hell they are, what the hell they're doing, know this system, and suffer because of what is seen when they walk in the courtroom. In my hometown, there are white dudes there's a white dude who drove a car through a freaking Taco Bell, killed one person, hurt a few more. He never saw jail time. There are cats who have gotten caught with less than, he was, that's what they said. He was mentally challenged. There are cats.
Did he represent himself?
No.
That's my point. He didn't represent himself. You gonna pay for it. I'm not saying that, like, okay, I pay for the lawyer. Depending on who my people is, they'd sit back and say, hey man, that's my son.
Right.
Get him a life sentence. And they would do it. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, I got the perfect law for that, that'll get him off of this case. But you paid for that top-notch attorney.
Right.
All right. So it's not necessarily
Pay for your freedom.
Right. It appears as though it's a black and white issue, but if you dig a little deeper, it's about what the lawyer knew that he could do to get this man off. It still boils down to the law. Right.
And the schematics of the system.
Right, and you can educate yourself just as much. It's just that when you go to buy a book, you're reading about how to maybe sit back and say, all right, I want to better myself as a person. And you ain't pick up not one law book. It ain't one law book in your catalog. But you got self-help and all this other stuff like that. What would happen if we started picking up the law book? See, and then we're starting to do that. We're starting to be aware of that, and now the system changing. You feel me? We was a republic at first. Now they keep talking about democracy.
Yeah. Right.
There's a difference. And with a democracy come a whole, I like to think that like the first, 4 letters in democracy begin to spell demon.
Whoa.
You feel me?
Whoa. Yeah, you threw me back with that one.
You feel me? But with, like I said, with the defining points of a republic, within that definition of a government, when you say republic, it's re. Re is a prefix, meaning return, or remake. You say republic. This is the same. This is the title of your government. You feel me? So that meant the power with the people, but the people got to be educated in that. With a democracy, I don't have to educate you. I just play on your emotions. You feel me? He racist. Don't listen to him. But sometimes a racist dude be saying real stuff because he about the money. You feel me?
Not just about the money, but he's pro his race.
Right.
That's what a lot of people understand about being a racist versus being prejudiced.
He don't want his race screwed. So he knows certain laws. Why you wouldn't sit back and just listen to what he got to say? Get past the emotional, you can't stand me. You feel me? That's your loss. If you don't like me because of my skin color, that's your loss. But I'm still gonna listen to what the hell you got to say. I'm gonna talk to you. You feel me? Like I was talking to my pops and me and him was chopping it up and he said, man, I would rather talk to a Ku Klux Klan member with the mask than to talk to a Ku Klux Klan member without it. He said, because up front you letting me know who the hell you are with the mask. You feel me?
Yeah.
I know how to talk to you.
Right. I'm chopping it up with you.
Right.
On some real stuff. You coming real as real could be.
Right.
You got the seat on.
We're going to keep you 100. You keeping it 100?
As opposed to it goes back to what I was saying. How you want it. Grease or no grease. You feel me? It go back to that. Grease, you got 3 options. Grease, no grease, or no action at all. You feel me? No action sometimes is the best action.
You right about that? You all right about that?
Okay, you still got me with the demon.
Hey, he threw me back with that one.
Hey, he pushed me back with that one, dog.
All right. So check this out, y'all. We won't be back next week. We're going to be back the week after. We're going to do more promo. This show right here, you guys, I'm going to leave y'all the link. It is live right now. So it's already posted. So I'm going to give y'all the link.
It's audio and it's up on the website.
The camera's right there. So there's audio and video. Fellas Barbershop.
6740 Douglas Boulevard, Suite F, as in fun. But we gonna have some fun and cut some good hair, some fades up in this thing. We gonna keep on fading till the fade can't fade no more.
So we're gonna skip a week. Y'all will see the other show go up. Y'all will see this show actually get edited just a little. Oh, go ahead, bro.
Start getting y'all haircut in here.
I already do. This is my guy right here.
I gotta start.
Yeah.
Like the customer. He's out.
Yeah, man. I mean, we've been seeing Z. We try to count the years. We can't count the years no. But,
I'm talking about the business was big.
yeah,
Bro, 10 plus years, boy.
it's been. It might be 10 and a half. I mean, the decade and a half.
I mean, you just talking about doing the podcast.
You feel what I'm saying?
I got an idea, Holyfield. Podcast.
Podcast.
Do it, baby. Get like Nike and just do it.
I remember when I had more hair than what Holyfield got now. Z did my big chop.
Yep.
Then he turned around and did Crystal's big chop.
Yep.
So we've been coming for a minute, man.
I did good today. I did not bash the fountains.
Until then.
I ain't bashed. I just said I didn't bash the fountains. I'm not gonna do it because she here.
We had a meeting on a Sunday, y'all. Okay. We had a meeting on a Sunday. Now, us three, we was having our meeting, right? Look, the Falcons just happened to be on the TV, right? Now they were winning when we started our meeting.
26-10.
Yeah, look.
26-10.
Look.
6 minutes left in the
I'm
game.
about to go into him. Look, we almost finished with the meeting. He looked up at the screen and said, "Oh hell no, hell no!" Look, right in front of our face, dog. Right. Oh, bro.
That hurt my feelings too, because I just knew we were gonna win that game.
You needed him here. You needed old Baghead. Baghead ready for any situation. Win, lose, Super Bowl, draw, tie, anything.
Somebody give me a card so I can read off everything to the camera, man. Appreciate it. Man, y'all
All
come
gas,
down
no
here.
breaks.
Y'all come down here, man, and holler at Fellas Barbershop. We are here every Saturday. We won't be here this next Saturday, but we're gonna be here every Saturday after that. Y'all can holler at us, man, at 6740 Douglas Boulevard. Suite F is right as you turn into the entrance to the mall.
Yo.
We're here every Saturday. Come get your
Facts.
haircut, man. They have master barbers that are off the chain. You can also call. Go ahead and set up your appointment, 770-485-9534. All gas, no breaks.
Razor sharp.
Man,
We out.
we getting out of here.